To evade the pursuit of the criminals, the ranger quickly steered the speedboat toward the shore, shouting for Dia to flee quickly, but Dia sat dumbly in the boat. Fortunately, the ranger returned in time, just managing to snap Dia out of her stupor. The two then fled into the forest, but Dia, who hadn't eaten in days, soon couldn't endure it. Not only that, she even blamed the ranger for killing the criminals, saying they would surely die if caught. This remark angered the ranger, and he proceeded to beat her soundly. After washing the mud from their bodies, they reached the riverbank hoping to wait for a passing boat, but by nightfall, not a single vessel had appeared. Fortunately, the ranger possessed professional wilderness survival skills. He quickly caught several small fish, allowing Dia, who hadn't eaten in days, to have a proper meal. Thus they endured the long night. Early the next morning, the ranger began setting traps, guessing the criminals would soon catch up. Yet Dia remained utterly unfazed. She picked up her makeup and started applying it. Meanwhile, the ranger lit a pile of firewood, and the smoke attracted several criminals, but DEA had already vanished. Soon, the criminals fell into the ranger's traps. It turned out this was all part of the ranger's plan, as by then the two had reached the river, planning to steal the criminals' speedboat and escape. Yet Dia sat foolishly on the boat, infuriating the ranger, who urgently called for help. At the same time, several criminals spotted them. The next moment, the ranger was shot in the leg. Thankfully, with her last ounce of strength, she managed to push the speedboat into the river and shouted for DEA to save her. But DEA, terrified, hid on the boat, and so the ranger was dragged ashore by the criminals. Little did the ranger expect that DEA would prove so ungrateful. Soon the ranger was pulled into the woods by the criminals, who intended to eliminate her completely. Then, something eerie happened. A fierce wind suddenly swept through the sky, trying to prevent tragedy. The crime boss grabbed her by the throat, only to be attacked from behind by his own henchmen. It turned out the henchmen believed the forest ranger's words. Just then, DEA unexpectedly ran back, and the ranger swiftly seized a gun, managing to turn the tables and kill several criminals. By the time the two returned to the city, DEA had successfully inherited her wealthy husband's fortune. To show her gratitude, she took the ranger out to enjoy life every day. Finally, they returned to that heart-stopping forest, just to thank the little fox that had once saved their lives. But as DEA and the ranger prepared to leave, the fox, seemingly reluctant to part with them, leaped onto the speedboat, and together they departed this troubled place. And so, the two lived happily ever after. Thus, the film concludes.